Husky News starts now.
Hello and welcome to Husky News Network. I'm Aparna Sekhar.
And I'm Alana Gersten.
Douglas explained the scientific causes for this year's mild winter. But how does this manifest in the lives of Boston residents? Northeastern students have clubs dedicated to enjoying winter activities. But this year, club members say they are coping with conditions that have wreaked havoc in sports like skiing, ice skating, and ice climbing. But to embrace ChatGPT, we might want to understand how it works. Meg Rosenberg, who works in Boston's Museum of Science, says ChatGPT generates text by recognizing patterns and solving puzzles, much like the human brain. Thanks, Alana. Here you can see all the boba shops within a 1 mile radius from campus. While most boba shops seems to be concentrated in and around Newbury, there are many new shops cropping up about the Fenway area as well. The general trend is that many of these spots are located close to MBTA T stations. But sometimes people just do not have the right kind of awareness while approaching these assistant animals. Assistance animals are of 3 types: service animals, therapy animals, and emotional support animals. And this is what people from Copley Square and Northeastern University had to say about service animals. When like a service animal is near you, or there's a person with a service animal near you, like what is the appropriate response according to you?
Yeah. You're supposed to do nothing. You're not supposed to distract them because they're working.
Nothing, ignore them. They're a piece of medical equipment. Essentially, they're just helping somebody throughout their day.
They're usually working, so you're not supposed to touch them.
I think it's okay to pet them if they are near you.
I just leave them alone because the dog or the animal is working. And
this is Betty from the Bright Spots Therapy Dogs. We are here today at the Robert E. Milliken Middle School. We have our Husky News reporter Katie Mock to tell us more about the No Limits dance crew. Welcome, Katie.
Hi, Aparna. Thanks for having me.
So, Katie, you have been to actually one of their rehearsals. What is the atmosphere like? Are they really friends in the rehearsal and outside of it too?
Absolutely. The dancers are really close and they spend a lot of time socializing, but they also get down to business and practice their dances too. It really seems like the rehearsals are a good time for them to let off steam, but also get some exercise in.
That's great. This year marks 10 years since the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013. The city of Boston has continued to showcase its grit and resilience every year since by gathering together to cheer on the runners and celebrate triumphs both on and off the course. A Northeastern student is helping create an environment for sustainable fashion while also giving back to the Boston community. First-year graduate journalism student Oishika Hota is experiencing her first Boston winter. Hota spent most of her life in tropical India, so people warned her that Boston winters would be very harsh. Hota came to the city with many gloves, hats, and heavy coats to cope with snowfall. But so far, she's underwhelmed.
I expected it to be a lot colder and I expected a lot more snow. It's already pretty cold for me as it is. If it gets worse, I don't know what I'll do.
Climate change professor Daniel Douglas explains that New England straddles a moving boundary between cold air from the north and warm air from the south. He says this causes a wide range of weather patterns during winter.
Winters in Boston are all over the place. Sometimes it's warmer, sometimes it's colder, sometimes it rains, and sometimes it snows.
Douglas says a significant contributor to Boston's erratic winters is La Niña conditions in the Pacific Ocean. This is when cold water from the deep Pacific Ocean rises to the surface, impacting air temperatures across the country. In New England, La Niña sometimes leads to warmer temperatures.
This is our third La Niña winter, which is unusual.
Philip Weibel is an executive board member of Northeastern University Huskiers and Outing Club, an organization that introduces students to year-round outdoor activities. Weibel says he is greatly disappointed by the mild conditions of his favorite season. Boston receives around 49 inches of annual snowfall, according to the National Weather Service. This year, the city has only gotten about 10.
I personally am a skier and an ice climber, and the season here has been really bad so far. We have really been behind on the snow.
But Weibel says a mild winter is an opportunity for the club to go on local biking trips that would have been difficult to execute in colder temperatures.
It's been a blessing in disguise.
Despite a lackluster winter, Northeastern students like Weibel are finding ways to take advantage of warmer weather and enjoy the season. This is Aparna Sekhar for Husky News. ChatGPT stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It was created by the artificial intelligence research company OpenAI to informally interact with users and learn from their responses. ChatGPT can write complex poems, song lyrics, and even entire speeches in response to a simple prompt. But professors across the country fear their students could use this tool to cheat. Yet Matt Carroll, a journalism professor at Northeastern University, sees ChatGPT as an opportunity for students to enhance their learning.
When you're dealing with students who have English as a second language, they can use ChatGPT to basically write some of what they need in correct English, which will save them a lot of pain and trouble. We're basically going to have to embrace it because it's coming, it's going to be huge, just like Google was when it first came out. I'm really looking forward to seeing how people figure out some very exciting ways of using this technology.
ChatGPT is a language model that's powered by artificial intelligence. Text is fed into the model, and the model uses it to learn all of the patterns that make a sentence that makes sense when you read it out loud. I think one of the big problems right now is that this technology has no idea what is actually correct. Content-wise, it is not attached to a truth filter. But what is new is that it is very widely accessible. I can imagine a lot of different uses for this technology just on a day-to-day level.
Though ChatGPT isn't perfect, it has potential that students are tapping into. Mitchell Nidus is a graduate student studying computer science. He uses the tool to understand code and summarize key information from search engines.
Google is just compiling a list of sources that you can then go and look through yourself, whereas ChatGPT is providing more like a comprehensive answer. You still have to go and figure out the response is actually accurate and usable.
While ChatGPT's reliability still needs work, the tool is ushering in a new era of AI possibilities. This is Aparna Sekhar for Husky News.
Northeastern Police Office basic advanced self-defense classes every semester. Northeastern Officer Doug Common is one of the instructors. He says it's important for the students to be aware of their surroundings and trust their instincts in potentially unsafe situations.
Fight like your life depends on it. Use the skills and tools that we teach you in these classes. If you're using your voice, you're using your punches that we teach you, using your kicks, your knee strikes, all those things to get yourself away from that individual to free yourself.
I think disability awareness is really important, and at a young age it's even more important because the biggest challenges that people I believe face with different disabilities is discrimination. I think it's the largest group of people that are discriminated against.
You know, if we were in a little center town and they would step into a store, we used to have this joke between us in the family and with all my other kids was, oop, they clearly don't want our money because there was no accessibility to get in.
Voter education is beyond important just for our livelihood. We see a lot of residents have been living here their entire lives, and a lot of them don't know, something as simple as, oh, how do you make sure that you have a sign up that essentially helps with your safety in your neighborhood? And a lot of people don't necessarily tie civic engagement back to something like that, but those are the skills that we're talking about developing in our residents that, hey, like you could call your city official, your city councilor, and get the things that you need and want. And it starts by you having that access to vote.
So 1950, between 1950 and 1980, there was only 2 inches of sea rise, but between 1980 and 2016, there were 6 inches. And then in 2017 to 2032, we expect 6 more inches. And that translates to roughly 1 inch every 8 years since 1980. And you might think that, 1 inch, that really isn't so much, but it has a huge impact. Tidal flooding has increased 333% across Massachusetts since 2000.